just start us off with your reaction to Coach O being named interim coach at LSU.
What we got going on with the TVs first? It's a little distracting. I'm sorry?
Coach O being named interim coach. What do you remember about Coach O?
Oh, man, I remember a lot about Coach O. I'm a Coach O fan. I love his passion. And I know that he's extremely happy to be the head coach of the Tigers now. Pulling for him, except in a couple of weeks.
Tell us a little bit about DeAndre's offseason and what you think you'll see from him as a scorer.
You know, he's had a good offseason. It's even though he is a newcomer to our program, especially as it relates to you guys having a chance to see him play, I still view him as a veteran because he has been in the program now over a year. I know he's very anxious to have the opportunity to get on the floor. He's waited a long time for this opportunity. He's one of the hardest workers I've ever coached. Day in and day out, he's going to put his work in. And for us, and for me especially, I know there's going to be a transition period, as it is with all new guys. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on him, and I'm trying not to allow him to put too much pressure on himself moving forward.
When you refer to that pressure, do you mean like him thinking, hey, I've got to be the guy that walks in here and replaces Steph Moody's points?
Exactly. He feels like he has to make a play every time he touches the ball. And sometimes that's not so bad as a coach, but you've got to temper that because in a game of basketball, like most sports, you never know when opportunities are going to present themselves. You have to be ready at all times, but you got to let the game come to you. And so that's something that he's going to have to mature into as his role continues to expand here. This is a completely different dynamic than anything he's ever been involved in. So I'm just trying to get him to calm down and understand that his role, as is with all of our guys on the team, it's a work in progress, and that's something that we're going to have to develop.
You brought Cullen Neal in. From what you can tell, how's that transition for him from New Mexico to here going?
It's been great here. He got here in July. He's been tremendous, another very hard worker. I don't pretend to think this is anything like what he's been in the past because obviously he was in a different system and he's also in a different system playing for his father. So this is something that's completely new to him as well. And with that's going to come a bit of a transition. But with Dre and with Cullen, you're talking about two 22-year-old guys. Cullen Neal's a college graduate. He also is very anxious to have the opportunity to show that he made the right decision, and we're anxious to put him in a position to show just that as well.
So what's one thing you want to establish during training camp?
Well, for us, man, it's just it's a toughness, it's an approach, day in and day out. It's the way that we approach the game. The rule change for us this year, there's been a lot of changes in the rules, and some of which you guys wouldn't even know, and nor should you. I wouldn't know except they pay me to know. So now, starting when school starts, we not only can work with our guys in limited sessions, but we can work with our whole team. It used to be something called individual development where we could have smaller groups, and it led up to about mid-September when you could have your whole team. Well, from day one, you can have your whole team. You can still only have them for 2 hours on the court, but I took advantage of that and really tried to do more team stuff just to kind of see what I'm working with. We've got 12 scholarship players, and only 6 have been in the program before. Only 5 of those have actually been in a game for Ole Miss, Dre being the 6th. So we're dealing with half of our roster is brand new, some of which are high school kids, some are with your post-grad transfers. We've got a junior college transfer. We've got kids on our team that represent 5 different countries, including the country of Memphis, which would be 6. So we've got all kinds of things going on that we're just trying to find, who we are.
When Dre is playing well, how does he score?
Really can score at all 3 levels. He can make threes. I don't want him to be a Marshall, Moody, that volume, but he's a guy that, he's going to make 60, 70, 80 threes. He can score the mid-range game, which I really think is his strength, and then he's strong enough to get it at the basket and finish as well as get to the free throw line. So he can score at all 3 levels.
You talked last year before the season about you needed Sebas to be that double guy every night. He was kind of on his way to doing that before he got hurt last year. What have you seen from him this offseason? What do you need from him in his senior year?
Number one, he's healthy. He's healthy physically. His eyes are fine. And he's approaching this with a senior sense of urgency that you typically see with he and Rasheed. They realize, man, every single day is a day they can't get back. Sebas is one of my favorite guys since I've ever had here. His energy is always right. He's very, very positive. He's going to put in his work. And he's really evolved offensively. He's gotten stronger. He's 6'9", and the thing that makes him so incredible is his wingspan. And we test that with all our guys, and thankfully his arms have not shrunk. He's still 7'6" tip to tip, which is astronomically long, as you well know. And that makes up for his lack of explosive athleticism because of his length. He's a guy that I've challenged to, be a double-double guy for us this year, lead the SEC in rebounding, which I think will have great value for him and our team moving forward. And I think that's a challenge that he's up for. And he's a guy that's going to make a lot of threes this year. And that's an area of his game that you guys haven't seen. He's worked tirelessly on it in the offseason. He's been a good 15, 16-foot jump shooter, but now with some of our actions roll and replace, he's going to have threes, and I would be surprised if he didn't make a lot of threes throughout the course of the year. I don't want him to fall in love with it. He's also a guy that I think we're going to run offense through in the block, a little different. Last year we needed a basket. We were going to go through Stephon Moody. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, however long it's been, we would run something for Marshall or get Murph to his left hand or Dwayne Curtis in the block many, many moons ago. But, this year, our first option is going to be Sebastian on the block, and it's a challenge that I think he's ready for.